All right, so hello everyone. Sorry, I thought I had been recording this reading and I hadn't. So I had already pulled some cards. So I'm just gonna start this over, but just understand that I've already shuffled and pulled some cards and done the prayer and didn't realize that there's a hair on the camera and that it was not recording, so my bad. So let's just get right into this then. We start off with the Five of Cups, and then we have the Ace of Swords, Two of Cups, and Seven of Pentacles. And immediately the vibe that I'm getting with this collective is that previously this collective had focused on things that weren't going well. There was a bit too much energy that was being put into mistakes that were had in the past, relationships that had failed, projects that had failed, maybe even like failure in education in some way. But there was just too much focus on what had happened and not enough focus on things that were progressing forward. What I'm seeing here with this Ace of Swords is that this collective has decided that they're going to change how they view things. They're going to change how they view the past. They're going to change, you guys decided to change how you're going to view relationships, in particular with this Two of Cups coming out. Okay, relationships with other people, family members, co-workers, friends. Okay, remember the Two of Cups doesn't always need to be romantic. It can be platonic as well. So you've got the Ace of Swords, which, you're really here and you're working on this mindset shift. You've been working on raising your vibration. Some of you might be writing affirmations, journaling more, might also be playing into that as well. Just doing things that are going to shift your mindset so you don't go back into this space. Some of you also, as I'm picking up this card again, have been working on this sort of victim mentality, being a victim of your circumstance, especially in the past. And with the change in mindset that this collective is bringing in, you've decided that you're done doing that. You're not the victim anymore of your circumstance. Decisions were made. You might not have liked the outcome, but that was that. There's an obvious want to work. This is the Seven of Pentacles, to work to flourish towards your goals now. And you've realized in this collective that in order for you to be able to reach those goals, you need to drop this type of mentality and you need to change the way that you view things, and you need to set clearer boundaries, and you need to be clearer with what it is you want to do and where it is you want to go, right? And how it is you want to interact with other people as well, right? There's a massive clarity that has come through. I'm getting really, since this new moon that happened in May, that a lot of this collective really has done a lot of self-work during that time of this new moon. Some of you might have also done a new moon ritual of sorts. So that might also be coming in as well. I'm not taking that card because I was definitely shuffling error. So me not paying attention. Spirit wants that card. You need to bring it out again. But yeah. There's definitely this shift that is occurring. I also want to say that, again, with the Seven of Pentacles coming out, this mindset shift that's occurring is also going to be impacting literally every area of your life. It's going to be impacting your own mindset and your own self-perception. It's going to be impacting how you enter into relationships with other people, platonic or otherwise. And it's also impacting your career and your job and what it is you actually want to do in the life that you want to create. Okay. Many of you might have shifted from deciding that you want to stay within a more secure job and you want to shift into this more creative sphere. That also is coming through here as well. What else for this collective? Nine of Wands. Yeah, this collective has had its battles for sure. You've had your battles. And there's really this sense of, wow, that one really came out. Okay. We've got the Nine of Wands, we've got the High Priestess upright, Nine of Wands upright, and we've got the Two of Pentacles reversed. This collective, you've had your battles, without a doubt. You've had your battles in the past. You've had your battles within yourself. Some of you might still be having battles. I want to stress here that just because you're internally struggling with maybe certain decisions you've made or boundaries that you've set, or things that you want to work towards, but you're not really sure at this point 100% of what the next step is or where it is you want to go. It doesn't mean that you're failing in some way. It doesn't mean that you're going to, oh my gosh, I'm regressing, because, this energy came up. Oh my gosh, you feel quite defeated. In fact, I feel like for a lot of this collective, it was this feeling of defeat that had allowed this collective to move and trust themselves more and gain this clarity, trust themselves more and say, listen, I'm not doing this anymore. Like this isn't my path. This isn't what I want to do. And this isn't the life I want to live. And so I'm not going to live it this way. And I'm setting this boundary. Some of you might have, I talked about this in another reading as well that I posted a couple weeks ago. Some of you might have gone no contact with someone or set a really strict boundary with someone as well. Some of you might have also placed an ultimatum with someone that okay? This could have also been a job, by the way, just because we do have Pentacles coming in. Two of Pentacles is here. This is more of a warning, I feel, of being mindful of your energy and where you're putting it. This collective has a tendency to go all in, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not something I'm going to criticize whatsoever. There's a lot of benefits to when you make a decision going all in on that decision. However, there is the caution of understanding that you need to juggle things. You need to balance your life so you don't get burnt out. Because if you try to go all in to something and you put it in, what's going to happen is you're going to get burnt out and you're going to have longer delays in the overall plan than if you were to just take it step by step. So making sure that decisions you make are a little bit more thought out. Conversations that you wish to have are not from a place of being very emotional. They're very thought out. Decisions regarding your relationship and boundaries are thought out. And understanding, that things do take time. Okay? No matter what, things take time. It doesn't, that's just the nature of things. I think we like to, as humans, we really like to be and feel like we're empowered and we can make things happen faster. And I think that that's honestly an illusion at the end of the day, because usually that attempt to make things come faster comes at the cost of us neglecting ourselves in some way. And so there's, again, this, and of course we got the Queen of Wands coming up. Right? Balancing this all out into your highest self. I really love the Queen of Wands card, I'm not going to lie. This card coming up screams to me in almost every deck. Like the empowered feminine, the empowered woman stepping into your power, this no bull era. Right? I really also love the hummingbird. The hummingbird is sticking out to me. Right there. That tiny little hummingbird is sticking out to me in this card when I'm looking at it today. Hummingbirds, I'm reading this book. I don't have it near me. And I can't remember the title. Oh my gosh, what's the title of it? The Sun is a Compass by Catherine Van Aert or something. I will link, if I remember, I'll link the book below. And in this book, she talks about hummingbirds. Now, this one's a ruby-throated hummingbird. I'm a little bit of a bird nut. But she talks about a different species of hummingbirds and how hummingbirds migrate. But a hummingbird weighs 2 ounces. And these hummingbirds have to migrate thousands of miles from Alaska. I think it was from Alaska. Or to Alaska or from Alaska, something like that. In the book, at least, she talks about this. And they have to go through all these winds, and they're literally they're the size of this bottle. They probably weigh less than this bottle does, this essential oil bottle does. And this is the entire size, and their babies are like the size of your pinky fingernail, and their nest is like the size of a toonie. But these little birds have so much gumption. you know, so much heart, so much spirit inside of them. You know, the dragon is very like obvious, right? The dragon is a very majestic type, but the hummingbird is this more reserved type of strength. And I really feel like this collective is really bringing that out. You're really finding this reserved type of strength, this I don't need to explain myself anymore type of strength, right? The dragon can be a little bit aggressive, right? And maybe the dragon is still an energy that this collective holds to an extent, because it can be aggressive and it can be a little bit, you know, you're going to do this or fire, right? But the hummingbird honestly is on par energetically with the dragon. But the hummingbird is a far more majestic, there's a word I'm looking for in English. Not unseen, underrated level of strength. Right? And that's this collective. I feel like you're stepping into this era where people in your life have really underestimated the level of power and strength. And you have underestimated the level of power and strength you hold in this collective. And you're now stepping into this space of, yeah, I know I'm powerful now. I know my worth. And you will bow down to it, or you can leave. And you will follow my boundaries, or you can leave. There's this very clear set of decisions that this collective has made recently that has almost caused you to switch timelines almost instantaneously. Where you made a decision and you didn't just make that decision, but this collective acted on the decision. And when you acted on this decision, that was game over, right? That was the universe, God, you know, the universal energy, whatever you wish to call it. That was God's like message. Okay, you're ready. And that was it, right? And from that moment, I feel like this collective has felt a little bit different. This collective has started to work on more peace. This collective has probably worked on being more mindful. You might have been more mindful of your health, mental health, or physical health, or spiritual health, okay? Or all three. You're more mindful of the music you're playing. You're more mindful of the things that you're purchasing. You're more mindful of what it is that you are embodying, the thoughts that you're holding, the energy that you're allowing into your space. There's a lot more of this mindfulness with this collective regarding that, right? We follow this up with this Justice card reversed. Okay. I feel like, so I'm going to kind of interpret this a little bit differently, because when you look at this interpretation of the Justice card, there's the scales. I don't know if you can see it, and you probably can't because of the camera that I use, but she's got a blindfold on, but there's one eye that's peeking out and one eye that's completely covered on the blindfold, right? And then she's got the law, right? And this time it's reversed, right? I feel like this collective had people, right? Or situations, but I'm really getting people who were trying to keep one foot in, one foot out of your life. And you have completely cut that. And they're trying to now, these same people are trying to manipulate you. They might be trying to imbalance you. They might be trying to say, oh, well, if you do this, then you're never going to get this type of outcome. You're never going to get this type of outcome, or you're breaking all these rules and structures, or I didn't raise you like this. Oh, I didn't raise you like this. That one's going to trigger some of you. That one's triggering some of you. Some of you are dealing with like parents or guardians or some sort of family member, or like social system that feels entitled to your energy. They feel entitled to your life. They feel entitled to know what's going on. And previously, this collective has held a level of guilt, a level of shame to an extent. Shame's not really the word. Almost this feeling that you owed someone something. And recently, in the past, I want to say month, there's been decisions that have been made from like April new moon. They're showing me April new moon to May new moon. So in the time period of the April new moon to the May new moon, which at the time that I'm filming this, we have just passed the May new moon, maybe like 2 or 3 days ago. Okay. From the April new moon to the May new moon, they're showing me that there was a series of decisions, of boundaries, of things that were expressed in a very clear manner that hadn't previously been expressed, and of breaking down, of shadows that were being broken down. And now there's people that are being left behind because you have catapulted this collective, you've catapulted forward. You've catapulted yourselves forward into a whole new timeline, this new, where it's you're starting over. You know, there's this song. I'm gonna look it up for you. I can't play it. I did get demonetized on YouTube for the last song that I played, so I won't play it for you. Where's this playlist? It's called Starting Over, DRDVIX. It's kind of this is going to be what it looks like on Spotify. Okay. And the lyrics here, I'm just going to read some of the lyrics for you guys. And if you want to go listen to the song, I highly recommend this. I've been weighed down by the life I knew, all the lies and faces fading from view. Empty words that tore me apart. Now I'm ready to reclaim my heart. The past is heavy, but I let it go. No more chains. I'm taking control. I'm moving forward and leaving it all behind. False friends, old shadows. I clear my mind. That's this collective's energy that you're trying to bring forth. And there's people that are trying to hold this back. There's people that are trying to get into your mind. Okay. You might have people calling or texting you, or like sending you letters, emails maybe, or social media might also something, and you're clearing it out. Every time you're like, okay, now I know it. I forgot to block you on Instagram. Time to go block you on Instagram. Oops, I forgot to block your email. Time to go block your email. Okay, there's this very clear boundary that was set that you're trying to make clear to other people. This is especially true if this is a no contact situation. I feel like for some of you, you might have gone no contact with someone recently, or a few people recently. So I feel like this is especially important if this is a no contact situation. Okay. A no contact thing. Yeah, we got the 6 of Cups, and I love this right now because I really feel like this collective is working on healing their inner child. And I think that, here's the thing. Okay, whoa. They showed me something when I picked this card up. Okay. This collective, you have been working to heal your inner child. And there's a part of this collective that feels like, okay, what's the next thing? And you've been doing the journaling, and you're working on the high vibe music. Some of you might also be meditating or doing something like yoga or Pilates. Is that Pilates they're showing me? Pilates or Tai Chi. You know, I like Tai Chi. So they tend to show me that in the same category, so I can kind of give different avenues for different people. But there's this feeling of you've done a lot more work than you think you have. You've healed a lot more than you think you have. You've gone a lot further in your journey than you think you've gone with the 6 of Cups. Okay. They're showing me this moment that I did recently, last week, actually, at the time that I'm filming this. I went to the cemetery. There's one person that's in the cemetery that I really, 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 really care about. Their anniversary of their passing is coming up very shortly. And I had a very long conversation. which is not like me. Normally, I don't have conversations in the cemetery, but I had a very long conversation in the cemetery. Did a lot of crying. And I was probably there for almost 2 hours. I don't know why I'm being told to tell you that, but some of you might have recently had very similar things, very similar rituals, very similar something recently. That point, I'm being shown, that point was the point that so much got healed that you didn't realize. So much got healed that you didn't even know needed to be healed, or know that so much was healed in that moment. Yeah, so much was healed that you didn't realize even needed to be healed. This collective thought that you had healed all that already. And this previous series of events that led to this moment, was showing you that you actually had it. And now you can move forward. You've got the Magician up, right? Oh. This, and then you've got, this Queen of Wands, this type of energy. Yes. I'm happy for you. I'm really, really happy for you. You've got it. You guys are opening your creativity too. Page of Cups here. Right? Some of you also might have started creative endeavors to help heal this type of energy as well. So some of you might have recently gone back to things that you did as a child, as an attempt to heal childhood wounds. You might have started to do things that you weren't previously allowed to do when you were a child, to try to heal those wounds. Okay, something of that nature with these two cards coming up, that some of you in this collective were trying to work and do certain things to heal this, to bring this type of energy more to the forefront, to bring this childhood joy and love and innocence more to the forefront of your life, to help you manifest the new starting over, this new project in your life with this collective, okay? This is such great energy. There's a huge transition. Spirit also said that in 24 to 48 hours from the time you finish this reading, they're going to send you a sign. Okay. Your ancestors are really happy you're doing this work as well. They just showed me my sign for ancestors. They're really happy that you're doing this work as well. But they're also really angry. They're really angry that there was this expectation that other people were going to do this work. And they didn't hold up their end of the bargain. And your ancestors are ticked that this was placed on you, because this should not have been placed on you. Some of you might have been in situations where you were parentified. You might also have been in situations where you were abused or manipulated. They're really giving me this parentification energy, needing to go out and get a job and pay bills when you're 13. I don't know why that came through. Someone here maybe. Needing to worry about debt, being told you can't eat so much because they don't have money for food. Some of you here, they're showing me, some of you might have gone and had to pack lunches. There's 3 lunch bags on the table, and there's a child that's going and packing lunches for herself and the siblings because the parent isn't there to do it, okay? Or they're just mentally not available to do it, right? So there's this transition, this thing where there's ancestors of yours in this collective that are pretty pissed off that you were placed in that situation, because that was a situation you weren't supposed to be placed in. It was not just, right? It was not just that you were placed in that situation. It was not fair that you were placed. You were a child, right? That expectation that was placed on you to be an adult was not something that should have been there at any point. Okay, so there's definitely this little bit of ancestral anger that is present here that is also being healed, because now this collective is working on honoring their inner child. Now this collective is working on making sure that their childhood self is really actually looked after. You're working on, even though this collective, you're adults now, you're working on being the child and having the childlike childhood experiences that you never had. Okay, you never had before. Okay, final messages here. We've got the Strength card. That's very fitting. I really want to talk about the Strength card for a second. I didn't even finish shuffling. I want to talk about the Strength card because I love this. I actually love so much of the artwork in this deck. But I want you guys to look at this. Look at the power that she has. She's here. She's tamed this lion. Okay? Right? She's here. The lion's licking her. They are in a very good relationship. She is also, though, a force of nature to be reckoned with, who is starting this tornado back here. Right? This symmetry here of this gentle strength, this cohabitation between her and the animal kingdom and nature, and this force of, yeah, I'm a nice person, and yes, I'm gentle, but don't F with me. This stepping into this energy of, it's again, this almost like what I was talking about with this hummingbird, right? This majestic, graceful power that previously you knew you had. This collective knew you had this type of majestic, graceful power, but it was so overshadowed with this really harsh power, right? Because that's all you knew. This collective, the only thing you associated power with is this harshness, this force, because that's what you were taught. And now you're realizing that part of power is stepping away. Part of power is having the means to walk away. Part of power is creating the life and the sovereignty and the freedom that you want to have. Part of power is this right here. It's this symbiosis between, nature and humanity, but also understanding, hey, don't take it for granted. This collective has had people that was taking you for granted, was taking your kindness for granted, that was taking your good heart for granted, that was taking your empathy for granted. A lot of you might have also had narcissists that you were associated with. Some of you might have been in relationships with narcissists or had narcissists as family members. Okay, then you've got this Two of Wands. It came up reversed, but immediately when I looked at this Two of Wands, the first thing that came to my mind was, you don't need to run anymore. Not a normal thing that I think of, but I'm going to just leave that with this card. You don't need to run anymore. There's a sense of this collective had been trying to find the power, and they have been running from situations and running from potential outcomes. And there's this feeling that I looked at this card while I was explaining this card to you guys, and Spirit told me, you don't need to run anymore. That's it. You can stay if you want. Now, if you want to leave, you can, but it's not going to be, I'm leaving to get away from something. I'm leaving because I'm avoiding something. I'm leaving because I don't want to talk to someone. I'm leaving because I need space. Now it's, I'm going to go travel because I want to travel. I'm going to leave because I have the power to leave for fun. I have the ability. It's not a need anymore. It's not a need of, oh, I need this space from these people. It is, I'm going to choose to do this now. I'm going to choose to have this decision made. I'm going to choose to walk forward in this way and hold this power and hold this transition and this new energy. in this manner. Any final messages? They just told me no. No. Yeah. No. That's that. That's that. Right? I'm going to leave it there. I'm really happy for this collective. I really want you guys to take a moment after this, when you shut this off, to really be proud of yourselves. This decision you made and this work you're doing, it's not easy work. It's not easy work. And I think that you need to sit, as emotional as it might be, and you need to be really proud of yourselves. You need to be really proud of the decision. You need to be really proud of who you are. You need to be proud of where you stand right now. And there's definitely this feeling of, you should be proud. You should have pride. I think some of you, once you sit in that a little bit, I think some of you are going to get really emotional, and you need to understand that that's okay. It's safe. You're safe now. You have made decisions, this collective, you have made decisions that has allowed you to be in a safe life now. In a safe space. So you're protected. Oh, and you're protected. Because your ancestors, oh, they have some ish that they want to say. If anyone tries to harm you, oh, that it's not gonna, it ain't gonna fly, right? Their ancestors are warriors on the other side, and they're not letting nothing come at you anymore. They've had enough. They've had enough. Sit with it for a little bit. Let it out. Some of you need to let it out. You've held energy for so long, and some of you need to let it out. And it's okay to do that. It's okay. On that note, like, subscribe, comment down below if you felt led to. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.